MORTH 5th Revision Section 2100 Open Foundations. Open Foundations Description. The work shall cover furnishing and providing plain or reinforced concrete foundation placed in open excavation in accordance with the drawing and these specifications or as directed by the engineer. Materials. Materials shall conform to section 1000 of these specifications. General. A method statement including the following shall be submitted by the contractor for approval of the engineer well in advance of the commencement of construction of open foundation. Sources of material: design, erection and removal of formworks, production, transportation, laying and curing of concrete, personnel employed for execution and supervision, test and sampling procedures, equipment details, quality management system to be adopted including quality manual, any other relevant information. Details of necessary arrangement for execution underwater wherever necessary shall be included in the method statement. Dimension, lines and levels shall be set out and checked with respect to permanent reference line and permanent benchmarks so that the foundations are located correctly and in accordance with the drawing. Formwork, steel reinforcement and structural concrete for open foundations shall conform to section 1500, 1600 and 1700 respectively of these specifications. 2104 Workmanship. Preparation of foundations. Excavation for laying the foundation shall be carried out in accordance with section 300 of the specification. The last 300 mm of excavation shall be done just before laying of lean concrete before foundation. Excavation shall be made only to the exact depth as shown on the drawing. In the event of excavations having been made deeper than that shown on the drawing or as ordered by the engineer, the extra depth shall be made up to with M10 concrete in case of foundation resting on soil and with concrete of the same grade as that of the foundation. In case of foundations resting on rock, this shall be done at the cost of the contractor and shall be considered as incidental to the work. Open foundations shall be constructed in dry conditions and the contractor shall provide for adequate dewatering arrangement wherever required to the satisfaction of the engineer. Where light blasting is required for excavation in rock or other hard strata, the same shall be carried out in accordance with clause 302 of the specification. Where blasting is likely to endanger adjacent foundations or other structures, controlled blasting with all necessary precautions shall be resorted to. Setting out the plan. Dimensions of the foundation shall be set out at the bottom of the foundation trench and checked with respect to the original reference line and axis. Construction. Excavation for open foundation shall be carried out in accordance with the section 300 of the specifications. For guidance regarding safety precautions to be taken. IS 3764 may be referred for foundation resting on soil. A layer of M10 concrete of minimum thickness 100 mm shall be provided above the natural ground to provide an even surface to support the foundation concrete before the laying of lean concrete layer. The earth surface shall be cleaned of all loose materials and wetted care shall be taken to avoid muddy surface. If any part of the surface has become muddy due to overwetting, the same shall be removed. If required, the M10 concrete may be laid to a thickness of more than 100 mm as per the direction of engineer. No construction joints shall be provided in the lean concrete for foundation resting on rock. The rock surface shall be cleaned of any loose materials and then leveled with a layer of concrete of the same grade as that of the foundation so as to provide an even surface. No point of the surface of the lean concrete in the case of foundation or soil, or the same of hard rock in the case of foundation on hard rock, shall be higher than the foundation level shown on the drawing or as ordered by the engineer. Levels of the surface shall be taken at intervals of not more than 3 meters center to center in each direction, subject to a minimum of 9 levels on the surface. No formwork is necessary for the lean concrete layer. Side formwork shall be used for foundation concrete work when concrete is laid in slope without top formwork. The slump of the concrete shall be carefully maintained to ensure that compaction is possible without slippage of freshly placed concrete down the slope. In certain cases, it may be necessary to build the top formwork progressively as the concreting proceeds up the slope. Reinforcement shall be laid as shown on the drawing. Before laying foundation concrete, the lean concrete or hard rock surface shall be cleaned of all loose materials. Lightly moistured foundation concrete of required dimension and shape shall be laid continuously up to the location of construction joint shown on the drawing or as directed by the engineer. The concrete surface shall be finished smooth with a trowel. The location of construction joints and its treatment shall be as done as per requirement of section 1700 of the specification. Formwork shall not be removed earlier than 24 hours after placing of concrete. Where formwork has been provided for top surface, the same shall be removed as soon as concrete has hardened. Curing of concrete shall be carried out by wetting of formwork before removal. After its removal, curing shall be done by laying not less than 100 mm thickness of these moistured sand free from clods or gravel over the concrete. The sand shall be kept continuously moist for a period of 7 days before backfilling is commenced. The loose sand shall be removed and disposed of directed by the engineer. Normally, open foundations shall be laid dry. Where dewatering is necessary for laying of concrete, it shall be carried out adopting any of the following methods or any of other method approved by the engineer. A pit or trench of suitable size deeper than the founding level as necessary is dug beyond the foundation excavation so that the water flows into it and the excavated surface at a founding level is fully drained. Water table is decreased by well point system or other methods. Steel, concrete, case, cones, or sheet piling are used for creating an enclosure for the foundation which can subsequently be dewatered. No pumping of water shall be permitted from the time of placing of concrete up to 24 hours after placement. In situation where foundation cannot be laid dry or where percolation is too heavy to keep foundation strata dry, concrete may be laid under water only by trimming. In case of flowing water or a certain spring, the flow shall be stopped or reduced to the feasible extent at the time of placing of concrete. Where blasting is required, it shall be carried out in accordance with the section 300 of the specification. The specifications observing all precautions indicated therein. Where blasting is likely to endanger adjoining foundation or other structures, necessary precautions such as controlled blasting, providing rubber mat cover to prevent flying of debris etc. shall be taken to prevent any damage. All spaces excavated and not occupied by the foundation or other permanent work shall be refilled with earth up to the surface of surrounding ground with sufficient allowance of for settlement. All backfill shall be thoroughly compacted and in general its top surface shall be neatly graded. Backfilling shall be in accordance with section 300 of the specification. In case of excavation in rocky, the annular space around the footing shall be filled with M15 concrete up to the level top of rock. Filling with M15 concrete shall also be carried out for excavations having depth up to 1.5 meter in ordinary rock or 1.6 meter in hard rock. In case the excavation are even deeper so as to ensure further filling up to the level of top of rock, the same shall be done by boulders grouted with cement. Protective works where provided shall be completed before the onset of floods so as to avoid the risk of the foundation getting undermined. Test and standards of acceptance. The material shall be tested in accordance with these specifications and shall meet the prescribed criteria. The work shall conform to these specifications and shall meet the prescribed standards of the acceptance. Tolerance. Variation in dimension plus 50 mm minus 10 mm. Misplacement and specified position in plan 15 mm. Surface unevenness measured with 3 meter straight edge 5 mm. Variation of levels at the top plus minus 25 mm. Measurement for payment excavation in foundation shall be measured in cubic meter in accordance with section 300 of the specification based on the quantity ordered as shown on the drawing. Lean concrete shall be measured in cubic meter in accordance with section 1700 of the specification based on the quantity ordered or as shown on the drawing. Concrete in foundation shall be measured in cubic meter in accordance with section 1700 of the specification based on the quantity ordered as shown in the drawing. Reinforcement steel shall be measured in tons in accordance with the section 1600 of the specification based on the quantity ordered or as shown on the drawing. Rate. The contract unit rate for excavation in foundation lean concrete including dewatering and blasting where required. Concrete in foundation and reinforcement steel shall include all work as shown as given in respective section of the specification and cover all incidental items for furnishing and providing open foundations as mentioned in this section and as shown in the drawing.